Good morning, welcome to Sunrise. Yes, we have all of the paraphernalia out today because it's not just Friday, it's Matilda Day as well. They go one up in the tournament, the biggest tournament of the year, the biggest tournament Australia's held since the Sydney Olympic Games. Just amazing. 1-0 over Ireland. Just a perfect start to the tournament for the Matildas. A little bit of bad news. Let's go straight to Katie Brown now because just before kick-off, a big bombshell, Katie.
Yeah, it was huge, and I think there was a real lull just before the game started. Sam Kerr ruled out with that calf injury. Tony Gustafsson said that she's out for the next 2 matches, but then was really coy on how long she would be out for further. Wouldn't weigh in on what grade of calf strain it is, but a calf injury is one of those tickling things that can niggle you for a long time. Let's hope that it is minor, and after Nigeria next week, we can see our superstar return. It would be so painful for the skipper to be sitting on the sidelines. We saw her welt up, but let's take a look back at how it all unfolded last night. It was history in the making, walking out to a record 75,500 fans. The biggest women's sporting event didn't disappoint.
I'm just really proud of the girls that we came out with the 3 points. We wanted to get that from this first game. The most important thing was to get off to a good start.
A heartbreaking withdrawal. Superstar Sam Kerr sidelined with a calf injury for the first 2 games and holding back tears during the national anthem.
We got a lot of belief from the way that she reacted, and we definitely, put ourselves out there for her tonight and made sure we got the win.
Early opportunities kept fans on the edge of their seats. Finally, after more than 50 minutes of play, a penalty awarded, and it was replacement skipper Steph Catley who stood tall and found the back of the net.
Steps up and puts it home for Australia. And they've taken the advantage in the second half of Stadium Australia.
I've been practicing a lot and I do like taking set pieces, so I just kind of take it like a set piece, take a breath, hit it where I want to hit it, and luckily it went in.
Federation Square once again lit up. Ireland threw everything they had at an equaliser. Australia holding on 1-0. Now set to face Nigeria next Thursday in Brisbane.
Up the green and gold. We've got this to the final, and then we'll win the final.
Lift off for the Matildas World Cup campaign.
The scenes are a little different this morning because all I've seen are just commuters and, more than 75,000 fans were celebrating that 1-0 win. Very lucky to get it over Ireland because in that second half, they were just attack, and credit to our defence, especially Alana Kennedy. I felt like her experience, she managed to just keep everybody at bay, calm, cool, collected, and we finished the job. But next up, Nigeria, and look out because I feel that was such a confidence boost for us, and that's exactly what we needed.
The perfect way to start. Thanks, Katie. Here's Mon.
Shervo, we're going to Brisbane now, where a family is lucky to have escaped an intense inferno that completely gutted their home overnight. Live to Georgie Chumley, who's at Northgate. Now, Georgie, do we know what started this fire?
Good morning, Mon. It's believed that it started in a storage unit underneath the property, completely gutting the home behind me and leaving a Northgate family homeless. Firefighters received multiple 000 calls from neighbours on Kismet Street when they arrived. The property was fully ablaze. They focused on saving the properties either side of it. Take a listen.
Both the neighbouring properties, particularly the house on the left, was in great danger of catching alight itself.
It took around 20 firefighters an hour to get this blaze under control. Thankfully, the 4 people that were inside the property at the time were able to get themselves out, including a woman in her 80s. Fire investigators will be back on scene later this morning to confirm the cause of the blaze. Mon?
Oh, thank goodness they're OK. All right, Georgie, thank you.
Let's get some more news now. Morning, Eddie.
Morning to you, Shervo. Morning, everyone. A man and a woman have been charged after a heart-stopping high-speed police chase. It lasted over an hour through Western Sydney. Let's go live to Lucy McLeod at Parramatta. Lucy, the pair is due to face court today.
They are, Eddie. Casey Glover and his passenger, Ashley Ralston, are facing 26 charges. They're awaiting their court appearance from behind bars this morning after a chaotic chase through Western Sydney. It started in Casula when police noticed the stolen car. They tried to stop it, but it sparked that chase for over an hour. That car weaving in and out of traffic, speeding down the streets, even crashing into the back of a truck on the M5. All of it played out live on Channel 7 yesterday morning. morning. Now, it all came to an end after police pulled back and the car crashed into a pole. That's when they arrested the pair and discovered the weapons, including a rifle. Now, that pair will front court this morning and they will learn just exactly how much time that'll cost them behind bars, Eddie.
Thank you, Lucy. Melbourne's already ailing health system is under more stress this morning, with revelations some urgent care clinics set up by the federal government are either opening late or closing early. Let's go live to Tegan Dolling in Melbourne. Tegan, what's the issue?
Yeah, good morning, Eddie. It seems that there's a real staff shortage and perhaps we're not getting exactly what we had bargained for. The federal government promised during the election period that they were going to open 10 new urgent care clinics, and that was to try and ease what's a really stretched emergency departments and hospitals here in Victoria. So if you get sick, you don't have to go down to an ED, you can go to one of these clinics. But in fact, we're only getting 2 new ones because there was already 8 that were operational. It's just that they've been rebadged and the federal government is now paying for them. They were supposed to be open for 14 hours a day. That's what the big promise was. But a report and an investigation by the Herald Sun has found that that's in fact not happening. The one new one that's already opened in Sunbury, they've got a staff shortage, so they're not getting those 14 hours a day. Down in Shepparton, that's probably the worst performing, and that's because they've actually had to temporarily be closed for days on end. And even down in Geelong, supposed to open at 8 o'clock on a weekend, and they're only opening until 11 a.m. So the big question is, Eddie, we're supposed to be going to these critical care clinics for help and not the EDs. They're not open, so where are we supposed to go?
Yeah, it's a real dilemma. Thank you so much for that, Tegan. Victorian safety authorities have issued a desperate plea to motorists this morning, urging drivers and passengers to wear a seatbelt amid a spike in road fatalities that police say could have been prevented. It's been revealed 12 of the 113 people killed on state roads this year were not wearing seatbelts, and of the fatalities over the past several years, 20% weren't strapped in. There might just be a saviour for the 2026 Commonwealth Games this morning. The Gold Coast Mayor says the city is willing to host the event on one condition: the federal government pays for it. Tom Tate believes he can, quote, turn Victoria's lemon into lemonade, saying he has the infrastructure to do it. The Queensland Premier previously ruled out having the event in the state. Alcohol is about to become more expensive, with a hefty spirit tax hike to come into effect within days. The alcohol excise increase could now see a litre of alcohol surge to more than $100, a benchmark industry experts weren't forecasting until 2029. So that translates to about $34 of a $60 bottle going towards tax. Australia already has one of the highest alcohol taxes in the world.